President Donald Trump has said it is pretty clear the U.S. Constitution does not permit him to run for the third term in office. After days of speculation prompted by claims from allies, there was a plan to let him do just that. "I have my highest poll numbers that I've ever had," he told reporters on board Air Force One as he flew to South Korea, where he is attending a regional summit as part of a whirlwind tour of Asia. "And, based on what I read, I guess I'm not allowed to run, so we'll see what happens," he said. House Speaker Mike Johnson on Tuesday told reporters he had spoken with Trump about the possibility of president seeking a third term, but he sees no path for it as any change to the U.S. Constitution would be well after Trump has left office. "It's been a great run. But I think the president knows, and he and I have talked about, the constrictions of the Constitution, as much as so many of the American people lament that," Johnson said. Asked how that conversation played out, Trump told reporters on Air Force One, "I don't want to even talk about that, because, the sad thing is, I have my highest numbers that I've ever had." He later added, "I would say that if you read it, the Constitution, it's pretty clear. I'm not allowed to run. It's too bad, but we have a lot of great people." Trump 2028 hats. Bannon interview. Trump has previously joked about running for a third term, and Trump 2028 hats are on display in a room near the Oval Office. That attention intensified last week when The Economist published an interview with Steve Bannon, a MAGA influencer and former Trump advisor, who claimed there is a plan for Trump to run for a third term. Bannon is notably far less close to the president and his team than he was during Trump's first term, and some White House officials viewed his comments as an attempt to draw attention to himself. Johnson's quickly throwing cold water on the suggestion underscores how little support Trump would have if he actually tried to move forward with it, even among key Republican Party figures. Trump also recently ruled out one proposed end run around the Constitution, saying it would be too cute for him to run as vice president in order to later ascend back into the White House after the U.S. military strikes 4 boats in the Pacific, killing 14, in ramp-up of campaign against alleged drug trafficking. The U.S. military conducted strikes against 4 more boats in the eastern Pacific Ocean on Monday, killing 14 people on board the vessels, with 1 survivor, according to Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. It marked the first time multiple strikes were conducted on the same day as part of the Trump administration's accelerating campaign against boats allegedly involved in drug trafficking. According to Hegseth, Mexican authorities have assumed responsibility for coordinating the search and rescue of the survivor. There were 3 strikes in the Pacific on Monday, with one hitting 2 boats at once, and bringing the number of known strikes carried out by the U.S. military on alleged drug smuggling vessels to 13 since the start of September. To date, those operations have destroyed 14 boats and killed 57 people, with 3 survivors. Last week, the U.S. military conducted its first round of strikes in the eastern Pacific Ocean, which appeared to mark an expansion of the campaign as previous strikes had targeted boats in the Caribbean Sea. Earlier this month, a U.S. strike against a vessel detained 2 survivors, but the Trump administration quickly repatriated the 2 men back to their home countries of Ecuador and Colombia. The situation set up a dilemma because it was unclear what legal authority the U.S. military would be able to cite to detain the survivors indefinitely. The president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, said during her daily news conference Tuesday that her government was informed about the Monday strike and about the potential survivor this morning. She added that the events occurred in international waters. Sheinbaum said she instructed the foreign minister, Juan Ramón de la Fuente, to meet with the U.S. ambassador to Mexico, Ron Johnson, and we will give them the information with the Navy Secretariat about this survivor, if it is the case that there was indeed a survivor. The Trump administration has produced a classified legal opinion seeking to justify lethal strikes against a secret and expansive list of cartels and suspected drug traffickers, CNN has reported. The opinion is significant, legal experts previously told CNN, because it treats drug traffickers as enemy combatants who can be summarily killed without any kind of judicial review. Hegseth said the boats targeted by the 3 latest strikes Monday were being operated by a designated terrorist organizations trafficking narcotics in the Eastern Pacific. The 4 vessels were known by our intelligence apparatus, transiting along known narco-trafficking routes and carrying narcotics, Hegseth added. 8 male narco-terrorists were aboard the vessels during the first strike. 4 male narco-terrorists were aboard the vessel during the second strike. 3 male narco-terrorists were aboard the vessel during the third strike, Hegseth wrote on X. All strikes were in international waters with no U.S. forces harmed. This story has been updated with additional information. The stories behind some of the defining photos of the last 40 years. It is one of the most iconic images in history. An unknown man confronting a line of tanks in the middle of Beijing's Tiananmen Square, defying an entire government. Reuters photographer Arthur Tsang was there in 1989, watching from a hotel balcony nearby. At the time, he had no idea how significant and symbolic that moment would be. Tsang's coverage of that historic week is among the work featured in a new book, In the Moment, 40 Years of Reuters Photojournalism. The book chronicles the memorable stories and moments captured by the news agency's photographers since it launched its photo service on January 1, 1985. While Reuters has been reporting on news for nearly 175 years, its photo department is relatively new. It's been an absolute privilege to look back at not just the history of Reuters, but news gathering and how it's changed, said the book's editor, Alexia Singh, who spent 20 years at the agency and managed picture desks in London, Paris, and Singapore. So much is different than it was 40 years ago, and it all starts with the technology. In 1985, everyone was still shooting on film. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching and staying with us through this shocking report. If you want to stay updated with the fastest and most accurate breaking news from the USA and the world over the next 24 hours, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel right now, and turn on the bell so you don't miss a single crucial update.